hard. Change is going to be hard because, first of all, people feel forgotten. People feel like they aren't listened to. I can't tell you how many people I meet. You know, the young woman who I met who works full-time in the night shift, goes to college during the day. She gets 3 hours sleep a night because she's got to look after a sister with cerebral palsy. Gets 3 hours of sleep a night. She doesn't feel like government's listening to her. The workers who've been laid off the plant that gets shipped overseas, they don't just lose their job, they lose their pension. They lose their health care. They don't feel like Washington is worrying about them. The veterans who come home and are homeless or disabled and realize that the country seems to have forgotten their service, they don't feel like Washington is listening to them. And you know, unfortunately, all too often they're right. Because Washington has come to be a place where the connected, the well-heeled, those with lobbyists are able to exert their influence. They don't win all the time, but they win an awful lot. You know, think about it. We have been talking about health care reform for decades now, through Democratic and Republican administrations. Why is it that nothing happens? Well, it helps when you think, no, it's not just Bush. It's not just Bush. Bush didn't help, but it's not just Bush. You think about it. The drug companies, the insurance companies spent $1 billion over the last decade preventing health care reform from going forward. So, is it any surprise then that health care laws are very good for their profits, not so good for you? Think about our energy policy. Some of you have seen the ads we've been running. We've been talking about gas prices and independence from foreign oil since 1973. And yet nothing happens. Why is that? Well, part of it has to do with the fact that you've got, when Dick Cheney was put in charge of the energy policy in this country. Some of you heard, you know, Dick Cheney's my cousin. That's a shame. When Cheney was put in charge of energy policy, he met with the renewable energy groups once, he met with the environmental groups once, he met with the oil and gas companies 40 times. So is it any wonder then that ExxonMobil made $11 billion in profits last quarter, and you're paying $3.50 at the pump? Almost full. You must use premium. You should use regular unleaded. That premium will kill you. Anyway. So here's the point that I want to make. That we can't just change political parties in the White House and think that things are going to change here in Harrisburg. We've got to change how politics is done in Washington. And that's why when I started this campaign, I said I'm not taking PAC money, I'm not taking money from the lobbyists, I'm going to the American people fund my campaign. Because I want to be accountable to you, not to some lobbyists in Washington. I want to fight for you, not fight for them. That's why I'm running for president. Stand with me if you're ready for change. And we can go ahead and tell the lobbyists and the fat cats their days of setting the agenda in Washington are over. Because they haven't funded my campaign, they won't run my White House, and they will not drown out the voices of the American people when I'm President of the United States of America. about what could be accomplished if we took this government back. I mean, we could start by providing health care for every American. I put forward a plan that says if you've already got health care, then we are going to work with your employer to lower your premiums by $2,500 per family per year. If you don't have health care, then you will be able to buy into a plan that's as good as the health care I have as a member of Congress. If you can't afford it, we'll subsidize you. You won't be excluded for pre-existing conditions. If you're a senior citizen, we are going to change the Medicare prescription drug law so that we are negotiating for the cheapest available price on drugs, so that you don't have to take half a dose of medicine because that's all you can afford. And we're going to do this not 20 years from now or 10 years from now. We'll do it by the end of my first term as President of the United States. On education, I want to make sure that every child in America has the best education we have to offer. From the day that child is born till the day that child graduates from college. We know what to do. We're going to invest in early childhood education to close the achievement gap and get children ready for starting school. I'm not just going to talk about how great teachers are. We will reward them for their greatness by giving them higher salaries and giving them more support. And we are going to maintain high standards in our schools, but we're not just going to have those high standards measured by a single high-stakes standardized test, because we don't want teachers teaching on the test. We want our kids learning art and music and science. We will change No Child Left Behind. We'll make sure the money's not left behind. I don't know about you, but we're going to I think we should make college affordable for every young person. So we're going to provide a $4,000 tuition credit for every student every year. But young people, you're going to have to give something back in return. You're going to have to spend some work, spend some time in community service and national service, work in a homeless shelter, work in a veterans home, join the Peace Corps.